In this video, we will be showing you how to develop recommendations as part of the completion of a patient safety review report record in the Recommendations module. Once you've opened your review report record, go to the bottom of the review report screen and click on Add a New Recommendation. This will take you to the Recommendation Form screen. Each recommendation developed will have a separate screen or form. For external review reports, use the number associated with the recommendation in the report as the order number. This aligns the written recommendations from the external report to the recommendations listed in this module. When developing internal recommendations, such as those associated with a patient safety review, start the order numerically with the number 1. Let's type in 1 for the order number. Follow your health authority's format for the numbering of the contributing factor field. Enter your contributing factor or root cause into the contributing factor free text field. For this video, I've previously typed the contributing factor and will paste it into the field. Identify the type of contributing factor from the drop-down list. For this recommendation, we will select equipment. For further information on types of contributing factors, click on the hyperlink located in the help box. Next, enter your recommendation into the free text recommendation box. Use your health authority's numbering system to link recommendations to the contributing factor. For example, in our fictitious health authority, this recommendation is prefixed with the number 1.1. For this video, I've previously typed a recommendation and will paste it into this recommendation field. Each recommendation in the report should have a separate recommendation form. Your recommendation should be based on the analysis of key findings from the review and be supported by more than one source of data. Develop your recommendations in a language which is objective, clear, actionable, and non-threatening. The help box associated with this field contains a link to a useful guide to develop recommendations using the SMARTER approach. The SMARTER approach tests the quality of recommendations to ensure that the recommendation is specific, measurable, accountable, reasonable, timely, effective, and reviewed. Each recommendation should have an identified method for evaluating if the recommendation has been implemented, as well as if the recommendation has achieved its goals of addressing the identified contributing factor. An effectiveness scoring tool is also built into the Recommendations module, which enables users to determine the effectiveness of the proposed recommendation. Click Yes on the field Show Effectiveness Scoring Tool. The Effectiveness Scoring Tool is now visible, which evaluates the recommendation using a number of questions. We will answer these questions with respect to our recommendation. Does the recommendation target the contributing factor? Is there evidence that this type of recommendation will address the contributing factor identified? What impact will this recommendation have on the identified contributing factor? What type of recommendation is being proposed? What system level is targeted with this recommendation? And what dimensions of the BC Healthcare Quality Matrix apply to your recommendation? For information regarding these fields, access the help box associated with each of them. Now scroll to the bottom of the screen and click Submit Element or Save. The system will now calculate the effectiveness score for the recommendation. Click back to Recommendation to view the score of the recommendation. If your score is less than 6, you may wish to reassess your proposed recommendation and, if appropriate, make any adjustments to strengthen the recommendation's ability to effectively address the contributing factor identified and the impact of the recommendation on the identified risk. Once you've completed a separate screen or form for each recommendation from your patient safety review, return to the review report screen. You will note that each recommendation created is listed on the bottom of the screen along with the contributing factor and the effectiveness score. If your patient safety review report is now complete, change the status of the report from pending to open. When changing the status to open, a number of additional fields will be revealed. Complete any blank fields as well as review the other fields previously populated to ensure their accuracy now that your review has been completed. Review the other screens listed in the navigation panel and complete as appropriate. The Notes screen provides you with a space where the expert opinion or literature utilized to support your recommendation can be listed. Now that all your appropriate fields are complete, scroll to the bottom of the page and click Save. This is the end of the video, Developing Recommendations for a Review Report. If you have any questions, please contact your BC PSLS coordinator in your health authority.